The girl who found her voice. There are times in life when our own voice becomes silent. When fear stops us from speaking. And doubt whispers, "You can't do it." But deep inside, there is a small voice. A voice of courage. Waiting to be heard. This is the story of Meera. A shy girl who was afraid to speak. But one day, she found her voice. Let's listen to her story. The girl who found her voice. Meera was a 17-year-old girl from a small coastal town. She loved to read, write poems, and watch English movies. But she never spoke much. At school, she sat in the last row. When teachers asked questions, her heart beat fast. But no words came out. Her friends laughed, saying, "She knows the answers, but she never speaks." Meera smiled shyly. But inside she felt small. She often asked herself, "Why am I so scared to speak?" At home, her mother said, "Meera, you must learn to speak confidently. The world listens only to those who speak." Meera wanted to. But she didn't know how. One day, her English teacher announced, "Next week, everyone will give a short speech in English." Meera froze. She couldn't sleep that night. She practiced alone in front of the mirror. But her voice shook. On the day of the speech, she stood on the stage. Her hands cold, her voice trembling. She looked at the students. Everything went blank. She forgot her lines. Laughter echoed in the class. Her eyes filled with tears. She ran out of the room. That day, she promised herself, "I will never speak in front of people again." Months passed. A new English teacher joined the school. Miss Riya Sharma. She was young, kind, and full of energy. She noticed that Meera never spoke. One day, after class, she said softly, "Meera, why do you hide your voice?" Meera looked down. "Ma'am, I try, but I get scared." Miss Riya smiled. "Do you know what's the most beautiful thing in the world?" Meera shook her head. "Your own voice, when you finally believe in it." Those words touched Meera's heart. For the first time, someone didn't laugh at her fear. Someone understood it. Miss Riya gave her a small task. Every morning, Meera, read one English paragraph aloud to yourself. So she did. In her small room. She stood before the mirror and read, "My name is Meera. I am confident. I can speak English." At first, her voice was low. Then slowly, it became clear, strong, confident. She recorded her voice on her phone. And listened every night. Each day, she improved, just a little. Miss Riya would smile and say, "Good job, Meera. Confidence is built, not born." One morning, the school announced a speech competition. Topic: The power of your voice. When Meera saw the poster, her heart skipped a beat. Miss Riya said, "Meera, I want you to participate." Meera was shocked. "Me? Ma'am. I can't." "Yes, you can," Miss Riya replied. "You've already started finding your voice. Now let the world hear it." For a week, Meera prepared her speech. She wrote and rewrote, practiced in front of her mirror. Sometimes she cried, sometimes she smiled. Her parents watched silently. They had never seen her so focused. The big day arrived. Dozens of students sat in the hall. Meera's name was called. She walked to the stage. Heart pounding, hands shaking. She looked at the audience. And saw Miss Riya smiling in the front row. Meera took a deep breath and started. "Good morning, everyone. My name is Meera. A few months ago, I was afraid to speak. But today, I stand here, Because one person told me to believe in my voice. Her voice trembled at first, but then grew stronger with every word. Your voice can change your life. Don't hide it. Speak your truth, even if it's small. When she finished, the hall was silent, then filled with applause. Her eyes shone with tears of joy. Miss Meera clapped the loudest. After that day, Meera was never the same. She joined the debate club, hosted school events, and helped other shy students speak too. She realized that her voice was not just for speaking. It was for helping others find theirs. Years later, she became a motivational speaker. When she stood on stages and told her story, people listened with tears in their eyes. I was once a girl who was afraid to speak. Today, I teach people how to believe in themselves. And that is how Meera found her voice. Maybe you too are afraid to speak. Maybe your English is not perfect. Maybe you worry that people will laugh. But remember, your voice matters. Don't hide it. Use it to learn, to grow, to inspire. Confidence doesn't come in one day. It comes from practice, patience, and belief. Every time you speak, even a single sentence, you become stronger. So stand tall. Speak proudly. Because like Meera, you too can find your voice. Thank you for listening to The Girl Who Found Her Voice. If you enjoyed this story, share it with someone who needs a little motivation today. And remember, keep learning. Keep believing. Keep speaking. Because your voice is your superpower.